Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm joined today by Naseem, an IT consultant from Delhi, and Deepa, and an HR consultant from Bangalore. Today we'll be discussing the increase in the number of people moonlighting and what the future holds for companies and workers. So Deepa, I'll ask you first. What has created this problem?
Well, as with many places around the world, during the pandemic, there was a big increase in the number of people working from home and also economic instability. So, at the same time, we had more people working without any supervision, and people were more worried about being able to make a living. So, the increase in online moonlighting was a consequence of that situation, really.
That's certainly what happened to me. At the time, you read about all of these companies that were making their staff redundant, and there wasn't much you could do about it if it happened to you. So, suddenly working for just one company seemed like a bad idea. I have a family to feed, three boys and a girl. I felt a lot of insecurity and was terrified of losing money, or maybe even worse, my house. So, I took two jobs.
What effect did that have on you and your family?
It gave us some comfort, financially, as I started making more money than I had before the pandemic. But I was also working very long hours each day. I saw the children every day, of course, but I couldn't spend any real time with them as I had to work from almost as soon as I got up until late in the evening. My wife was working as well, so it was quite hard to manage everything. When the crisis was averted, we had gotten used to having the extra money. So, although I cut back on my hours in both jobs, I still continued to work at both.
Do you see anything wrong with doing what you're doing?
Not at all. I'm a professional and I work hard at both jobs. My main job is in IT, as you mentioned, but my second is in design. So there's no conflict of interest between the two. I don't talk about the work in one with another. But at the same time, I'm learning different skills. It means I can solve IT problems with my design job and design problems with my IT job. So, although they are separate, both companies reap benefits from my knowledge.
Deepa, what problem do companies have with moonlighting?
A lot of these tech companies are working on products that they must keep secret from the competition, or they will lose the competitive advantage. I understand Naseem's situation, but there are a lot of employees working for more than one IT company, and there are clear risks there with information sharing, and some people are very reckless. We have to draw the line somewhere, and it's unfair to say if you work in a different industry, you can take a second job. But if not, you can't. The law does protect employers from this and sees that if you are paying a salary, there are certain things you can expect. Your employees not taking a second job is one of those things.
Do you think the view of companies will change in the future?
It's already happening with some companies, admittedly. But the concern that a lot of companies have about guarding their trade secrets isn't going to go away. I can see a situation where you are allowed to work for another company, but it will limit your ability to progress in that company. But they will use the law to protect themselves.
But the law is also there to protect the workers. You can't pay low wages and expect your employees to just work for you and give you their loyalty. I think companies have to realize that workers have a lot to offer these days, and if they want you to only work for them, they have to provide the benefits for doing that. At the moment, there's nothing.
Thank you to both of you for coming in today. We're going to be reading some of your emails on the subject next and see what you have to say about it.